Hello beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Cartram the Pegasus and I'm back with another tour of my valley, Vale and floating islands. I am so excited to show you everything that I have going on now since a lot has changed while others have remained the same. As always, I will leave links to the videos I used as references in the description below, because it is thanks to these amazing creators that I was able to make what I have now. Of course I am trying to design things my own way as well, but I take inspiration where I can. I hope you like my tour, and I would love to get any feedback you all would be willing to give me. Anyways, enough of my rambling, let's get on with the tour. Like always, we will begin our tour with the plaza, the main hub of my valley. The layout has changed quite a bit since the last video, but I am still going with a citycore vibe. Where I had the movie theater before, I now have Tiana's palace. I think it works better here than over in the bottom corner where I had it before. Right next to the restaurant, I have the flower shop, Monsters Inc. apartment and my home, the provincial library, all lined up here. This build I got from Nora's video over at Horrible Gaming, but I swapped out the bakery for the library instead, because I wanted to keep my house as part of the plaza. I left the opening here near the stairs since the villagers love to come and stand there to look out at the horizon. To quickly show you the other side of the build, as I said, I have the Monsters Inc. apartment here, which is the home away from home for my villagers, something I will be showing in another video series. And behind the library, I have an outdoor reading area. I like the lived-in look this gives the build.
Remember, even miracles take a little time.
In the middle of the plaza, I still have the friendship statue, with a flower path lining both sides, to make it look a little more lively and full without taking away from the rest of the build.
Some of these folks could use a few laughs.
Did you know you're practically everyone's hero here?
Over in my town square area, I used the build I have been seeing a lot all over the internet with Scrooge's store, the boutique and Remy's restaurant. I like how it all comes together and fills the space while still giving me room to move and decorate around it. Lastly, in the top corner, I have the movie theater. I haven't decorated around it yet, because I haven't decided what I'm going to do. My peaceful meadow build has largely remained the same since the last video. Since my stockpile of supplies has been running low, I have been focusing on rebuilding that before I continue with this build, since it takes a lot of material. Also, now that we have the valley, Vale and floating islands to decorate, I have been working out where I want to have each build, so this build, which is mostly complete anyways, has fallen on the back burner. I've made minor tweaks here and there, but it is largely the same build that I have had for months. As you can see, since my Beauty and the Beast build has moved to one of the islands, I have moved Beast's greenhouse down here to the meadow for now, until I can find a more suitable place for it amongst all of my builds. I still have the clear path across the meadow from one end to the other with the sitting area and clearing here so I can access the mining nodes and to add more life to the build. It kind of reminds me of Central Park, or something along those lines. I don't know if I've mentioned it yet, but the original idea was inspired by Opal's video, but this is my own spin on that idea.
Oh, there it is. Hi, folks. Well, that's it. That's my set.
I have my work in progress garden park here in the back corner near the glade that I still haven't completely worked out yet, but have a few ideas, which I'm hoping to have started by the next video. Lastly, I have the small Toontown build here, though I don't have all the buildings crammed together, and I'm trying to build a neighborhood-like area on this side of the meadow. Dazzle Beach hasn't changed at all since the last video, because again, I have been focusing more on the new builds than finishing off this one. But I am still proud of what I have here thus far. At the end of the beach here you can see Ariel's castle, and Eric's ship out on the water. I like the way these two look together, and think they work out on the water. On this side of the beach, I still have Moana's boat and the well. I don't know what else I want to do with this part of the beach. The island in front of Skull Rock has all of the pillars we got from the different biomes, because I put them here for the quest, and I still like the way they look here as decoration. By the mysterious cave I still have Eric's castle, which is where it has been since Eric joined my valley. I think this is the best place for his castle, though I have seen many builds by others that are amazing as well. At the end of my boardwalk, I have Moana's house and Donald's home at the end of the docks. I also have me little shop area. On the other side of the beach, I have Stip's house with the flowers in the backyard, where he takes care of them for me in my headcanon anyways. In the forest of Vale, as much as I loved my previous layout, now that the Beauty and the Beast castle is no longer here, I have started changing the layout to work better with what I have now. So, I started changing the way the path works. I like what I have so far, but have come to the realization that it is going to be a lot of work. I have Rapunzel's area up here, at the top of the forest, which hasn't changed and probably never will. But we'll see what happens down the line. I still like how this area came together, and think it works really well for Rapunzel. Just outside Rapunzel's area, I still have Buzz's campground, but this is most likely going to move once I have my new pathing figured out, since I now have more space to put this area. It might also move over to Eternity Isle at some point, but I haven't decided yet.
Oh, there it is. Hi, folks. Well, that's it. That's my set. Thanks.
Of course, across the river here I still have my little forest town, that I based off one of Nora's videos, but this is my version of it now, including both Eugene and Merida. Before it only had Gaston, Belle's house and the Purple Cottage, the latter of which have now been moved to my Beauty and the Beast build on the forest island. I still haven't done much with Elsa's home here in the cave, because I can't figure out what I want to do. I will probably end up moving this fountain area, since it doesn't really go with my new idea. As of now, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this side of the forest, so I'm just going to leave it open until I have a plan. My frosted heights is where the bigger changes start to come into play. As you can see, I have moved the Arundel Castle to the middle of the side of the biome to do a different build than I had previously. I still have some ideas bouncing around inside my head, but haven't settled on one for sure yet. Across the river, in front of the cave, I still have the elemental stones, but they will probably move since they don't work with the new build. Back over at the entrance to the Frosted Heights, I have the ice rink like Sirens, but I have been taking it down to build the Winter Town Market. I have the idea for, but haven't moved very far into it. Lastly, I have this little food court area based off Nora's build that I really like. It is the basis for my new builds here in the Frosted Heights. The Glade of Trust also has had some pretty big changes. As you can see, the garden area I had before has now been changed to an old castle courtyard. I find it funny how long it took me to realize the castle walls that we got from the premium shop are the abandoned fortress from Storybook Vale. I love these items and have worked hard on this new build. I still have my Ursula area here, but haven't done very much yet. On this side of the glade I have my small town build that was inspired by Elsirane's build. The biggest change here though, I'm pretty sure it was in the previous video too, is that I have Charlotte's house here now instead of the seaside villa. I have been slowly building this place up. Lastly, as you can see, I have moved Mulan's house, so now I have to figure out what I want to do with this area. Now, as we enter my sunlit plateau, You can see that I swapped out the Hercules arches at the entrance with the new trees we got with the Vale. I like this look a lot better, and will be using the arches for a new garden-like build in Mythopia. Anyways, the plateau is still my orchard as you can see here, but I have started swapping out the dark wood fence for the stone walls I originally had down in the glade, which is now where the castle courtyard is. I am going to be changing the layout of my orchard, but this side of the plateau is going to remain as the orchard. On the other side of the plateau, I still have plans to make it a Pride Lands build, but haven't done anything with it yet, because I don't know exactly what I want to do, or how to make it look good without going crazy with trees, which I don't want to do. Heading back to my entrance, you will see that I still have my little hidden sitting area here, but now that we can angle things, I have put the stone arch here to make it more inviting, and I just really love these arches.
Whoa now!
Lastly, in the space where Scar's house used to be, I've built this little hideaway for the biome flowers, the Dreamlight fruit tree, and Goofus stall. I think the biome is really starting to come together the way I want, but obviously things could change down the line as new characters and items are introduced. My Forgotten Lands has progressed slightly since the last video, but as I said earlier, haven't built much, because I have been busy stockpiling on supplies since I was running dangerously low on them. Anyways, I have been switching the stone ruin walls with the bookshelf fence we got with the Vale for the first part of the Forgotten Lands, where I have the courtyard sitting area. I like the contrast these decor items have against the darkness of the Forgotten Lands, and think it makes for an interesting build. I still have my flowers hidden behind the walls here, and like how this whole space is coming together. In the middle of the biome, I still have this little Halloween town build I have been working on with the Mickey Jack-o'-lantern in the center, and Jack and Sally's house on one side and the Nightmare Castle on the other. In my canon, the Nightmare Castle is the stand-in for the Forgotten's home, because as much as I like the Dark Realm, I don't think the Forgotten should have to live there, especially after we made peace with them at the end of Act 1. Anyways, on the far side I still have Goofus stall, the well and my garden, and as you can see, I now have Hade's house in the corner. I like that we can now angle stuff, I just haven't done it with very much yet. Lastly, I still have the Dreamlight tree in the last corner here, because I honestly don't know where else to put it. Ancient's Landing has undergone a huge change since we got the floating islands. As you can now see, it is no longer my theme park, because that is now one of the islands, as you'll see in a bit. Anyways, I am thinks of turning the docks area into a seaside market, but haven't figured out how I want to do it yet, and of course, I don't know what I'm going to do with Woody's house, so he's staying on the little island right now. For the upper part here, as you can see, I have enclosed the space around the well here with the hedges, and I placed the 2 buildings here, because I am starting to build a little city area here, but have only just begun.
Everyone here is so kind. It takes a little getting used to.
That's why the overlook is empty as of now, and I still have Wally and Eve up here in the ruins. But they will be moving once I clear out the area. I will be moving them to.
There are so many nice people here.
The courtyard is still my downtown build that was inspired by New Name's video. However, I will be tearing it down for a new build since Ancient's Landing will be my new city, and this area will be a whole new build altogether. So, this is all going to change soon. Here in the glittering dunes, I really only have this first part to show you, because I have nothing else in the other parts of the dunes. Anyways, I am still working on my Agrabah market here based off Blossom Joy Gaming's video. I haven't got very much done on it because again, I have been working on rebuilding my stock before I continue my builds. Hopefully, I will have more to show you in the next video, if not have it done by then. The Oasis is based off the Decorista's video, but just like what has been the case with every video I've posted in this series thus far, I haven't done very much with this build. Just like I said for the Agrabah market, hopefully I will have more done in the next video. And I will try to have a more cleaned up valley, so I don't have all the resources lying around. Now that we have the floating islands, my wild tangle has one less area decorated, but I am still working out what to do with the empty spaces. Anyways, like always in the first area, I still have this wooded area. The only difference is I have swapped out some of the tree bunches for the new ones we got with the Vale. I like the bursts of colors this gives the biome, and it just adds more variety to the space without making it look too crowded. Across the bridge, I have my orchard with the casita in the background. As I've said before, I like to think that Madrigal family would like this space, and would be more than happy to take care of the orchard. Lastly, I have the triangle cottage up here in a build inspired by I'm Not Dead Jet. I love how this build came together, and how it fills the space so well. In the Vale, I only have started decorating 2 of the biomes. With so many places to decorate now, I really have so many things I want to try, but don't want to rush into them. The first of the 2 is obviously the bind. Up by the staircase to the Library of Law I have this little market area, because I like how it all looks and how it fills the space. If we go down the stairs to the right, you can see the beginning of the little town that I have started building. I have selected the buildings, but don't have enough materials to finish off the build just yet. But I do like the bare bones idea that I have laid out so far. For the Wild Woods, I only have this one corner decorated. I have moved both Fairy Godmother and Merlin here, because I think this biome's aesthetic matches their homes well, and I have always wanted to have these 2 together, but didn't think Merlin suited the Forgotten Lands, nor did I want to move Fairy Godmother from the Forgotten Lands. But now, with this new biome, I have plenty of space for them and am now trying to work out what exactly I want to do with them here. So for now, I have them as neighbors here in the Wild Woods. This is what I have for my Plaza Island right now. Since I only just unlocked it, there isn't much here as of now. As I said earlier, I moved my Chinese village from the lagoon up here, so I can Mulan the build that I always wanted to. I don't know what exactly I'm going to do, but have several ideas bouncing around inside my head. So for now, I am just trying to figure out the layout for the buildings, and will build around that. I like how much space this gives us, and that I finally have the room I wanted for Mulan, though I am sad to not have her in my main valley anymore. But this is necessary to give her the build I think she deserves. My forest island is where I have moved Beauty and the Beast. I am planning on building an entire castle town here for them. I only have the buildings picked out, and haven't figured anything else out as of yet, but I will as I move things along. I am happy that I can finally give these 2 the build I want, just like with Mulan. I have so many ideas I want to try and can't wait to get started. The Sunlit Island is where I have moved Scar, because I now finally have a place to put him which isn't in my valley, which I am so happy about. As much as I love Scar as a character, I don't like his home, and had nowhere to place him that I liked and couldn't figure out a build around his home, as you saw in previous videos. Now I have this island to use. You can also see that I am using it as a garden, as well, so I have a place to grow all the crops I need for cooking, star paths and quests. I will clean it up at a later date though.
I can really dig my claws into a place like this.
Finally, I have started turning my frosted island into my new theme park build. I love that I now have this entire island to use for this build, and can now make the theme park I have wanted to for a long time. I also thought the frosted island was a good idea, because it would be different than using the plaza or forest ones, which I thought a lot of other players might do. So I wanted to try something different. I also think the white background really makes the colorful rides and buildings stand out far more. Oh, as you can also see, I moved Vanellope here as well, just to finally get her out of my valley. But I don't know if she'll stay.
Sheesh, this place is bonkers.
Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the video, and if you have any ideas or comments, please let me know. Until next time, byes.